Well, thanks everyone for joining us this morning to talk about the first ever mentorship program with the North State BIA. So this is a very exciting program that we've been working hard to get off the ground starting in 2027. So if you guys piqued any interest, filled out the interest form, or reached out to Angela, you got this meeting invite to just kind of talk about what we have been game planning, talk a little bit more about the program, what some of the expectations will be, and then give you guys an opportunity to ask any questions that you have on it. So I know everyone is super busy, so we want to be mindful of everyone's time. So we'll just go ahead and jump in. Ethan, if you wanted to go to the next slide, we have a little bit, just a small agenda to go over. This is really just an opportunity for you guys to learn more about the program and ask any questions. So feel free to jump in at any time. But first, so this program, the Bridge, which is the Young Professionals Group, is the one who's kind of leading this front, and also with some help with the Professional Women in Building Association. And so if Cameron wants to talk a little bit about what Bridge is.
Absolutely. Bridge is a young professionals group within the BIA for people 35 and younger or 5 years or less in the industry. And it is building relationships and then development, empowerment, and or growth and then empowerment. Um, and we're just really excited to launch this program. I've been excited about it when we started about 4 years ago. It was definitely one of our pillars. And so it's been fun to support Shelby as she launches this. So excited for 2027.
We always feel like there's been just one little thing missing in BIA, and I feel like that was a mentorship program. So we're super excited about this.
Yeah. Ethan, if you want to go to the next slide. So this is just kind of like an overview of this mentorship program. Like we've said, this is the first ever in the North State BIA. So we really want to have a strong starting with this so that it's successful for many years and it can get bigger and bigger each time, which is why it's so important that you guys are all here today. And so this is going to be a year-long commitment starting in January 2027, going throughout the entire year. And just the goals of the program is, career and personal development, leadership development, communication, industry and business knowledge, and then networking and relationships. Um, One more slide. So these are expectations that we're going to for the mentors and the mentees. At the very end of the call, we're going to ask all the mentees to hop off and just talk to the mentors specifically and kind of go in more depth about what we want, what we're expecting from them. So the expectations for mentees and mentors, it's going to be a commitment of meeting at least once a month with your mentee or mentor. This is going to be, you guys can go on a walk, happy hour, coffee. Really, it's up to you guys. You guys are going to get the most out of this program with what you guys put into it. And during these meetings, come prepared with questions that you guys want to talk about, something that you've been dealing with at work or things like that. But we'll also be sending out kind of talking points at the beginning of each month. So if you guys meet and you are kind of just stuck and don't know what to talk about, you guys can reference back those questions that are talking about like the four pillars that we just briefly talked about. Um, then on top of meeting once a month, just you and your mentee or mentor, you guys are as an entire group, all the mentees, all the mentors are going to meet on a quarter basis. So 4 times a year, the first one in January. And this is just going to be an opportunity to mingle outside of just the mentor mentee. You can talk to more mentors, gain their knowledge. And so we'll probably do like an education portion. So effective communication or how to network with purpose. It'll just be like a brief presentation. And then after that, we'll kind of go into a mixer. Um, and also, another really important thing is just to maintain confidentiality. You know, this program is going to be successful if you build trust within each other, and you guys are going to be talking about some sensitive topics about work and things like that. So it's just very important that what you guys are talking about stays between you guys. Once again, in order for this to be successful, we need to really help maintain that. And also, with that being said, this is an opportunity to grow inside your company. So we want to be mindful and respectful that this is not you seeking employment somewhere else or you poaching employees. This is to better so you can grow within your company currently. And then last is just be respectful of each other's times. You know, we're all very busy, and it's just great that everyone wants to participate in this. So come with your questions, make sure you're communicating. If you can't make it to a meeting or if you're going to be late, just really focus on all that. Um, with this, mentors, there's no fee to be involved. Mentees, we are asking for a $100 fee, and that's just going to help us put on these gatherings every quarter. You know, they're going to be have food and drinks and at different locations, so that'll just help support that cost. But we don't want that to be a deciding factor if you can participate or not in this program. So if that fee is an issue, please just reach out to us. We will see what we can do about it. Um, do you want to stop there, see if anyone has any like initial questions? I know it's a lot of information coming at you guys.
Howard,
I think it
can I
might
ask
make
a
sense to
question?
just go through the last
The last one?
one
Okay.
slide and then maybe open it up for questions.
All right. So the next one is just curriculum, which we have talked about once before. We are still working on like what we're going to be discussing at these quarterly meetings and stuff. And so this program is for you guys. So if there's something that you guys want to learn or focus on, let us know. Nothing is set in stone. But you know, it's about career, personal development, leadership, communication, things like that. And then the last slide is kind of going to be our kickoff event. And so it's going to be in November, November 5th, 4 to 6. And this is going to be like a speed networking type thing. So all mentees and mentors that are committed to this program will be asked to join. And then this is just your chance to meet all the mentors, all the mentees, learn a little bit about their story and what they have to offer to you guys. And so you'll be able to meet everyone. And then at the very end, we're going to ask that you pick like your top 5 choices of who you want to be mentored by and who you want your mentee to be. And then based off of that, we're going to match everyone up as close as possible. So this is going to be a one-on-one ratio, so one mentor to one mentee. We currently have 35 mentors that are interested and 25 mentees. And so, with that being said, it's not a one-to-one quite ratio, but we still have some time to figure all that stuff out. So, yes.
Now we're open for questions.
Okay.
Am I the only person? So, Shelby, you're the program manager for this.
So, Bridge is the one who's doing all of this. And then inside Bridge, we have a committee who has kind of been leading this front with myself, Cameron, Ethan, and Josh.
Okay.
Yes.
But yes, I'd say it's fair to say that Shelby has taken on and been the leader of this program. Yes.
No, I just want to say thank you guys for setting this up. This has definitely been something that's been needed for a while. And so, excited to be a part of it. So thank you guys for doing this.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. I think it's a terrific idea. I hope somebody chooses it. Someone like me, even though I have very little years in the business, which is facetious, obviously. So, what if nobody picks you? Maybe it's like Red Rover.
And no, so, like that's important to note. Like right now, we do have more mentors than mentees, but as we all know, life happens, and so if you don't get matched up right away with someone, we definitely want people to have we want to have a backup list in case someone has to drop out and things like that. So definitely, we're going to use everyone as much as we can.
And it's possible after this today, 10 mentors decide, oh, I didn't know that this was going to be one-on-one. That's going to be too intense, and so maybe the numbers will just work out by the time the meeting happens. So we'll be flexible, and we're not concerned about the numbers being an issue.
Yeah, and that's why we wanted to have this meeting.
Additional mentees if there are interest.
Yes, for sure. At this point, it's not locked. And everything's not finalized, and so we're still definitely looking for some.
I think what we can also say is that after this meeting, we are going to reach out and email to everybody. There is an agreement to sign so that expectations are understood, and so that will help us be able to confirm who is going to be participating for sure. And if we have any, if we need to do more recruitment, we can. This session is being recorded so we can pass it on to other BIA members. And also with that and the agreement form by November, we will have a better idea of what our numbers are. And then after that, see how the matching goes.
Yeah, Angela, can you resend it also to the mentors of the original email? Because I think I know some people on my team or some other people I know through the industry that might want to directly go, hey, this would be a great opportunity for you. And if I could find that original email, then I could send it easier to those that I'm thinking about.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. Well, what we can do is we did send out an e-blast to all the membership last week, and we can do that again before the November event.
Because some of the mentors may be the best recruiters for this class if we
Right.
have people in our teams or in other departments within our
Oh, okay.
company.
I see what you're saying. You're saying to send it to the mentors.
Yeah, then I can go
Okay.
and individually reach out to somebody and go, hey, I think this would be a
Yeah.
great program for you, because we all get lost in emails.
Mm-hmm. I definitely believe that personal asks are much more effective than an email as well. So yeah, I will, when I send out the mentorship agreement, the mentor-mentee agreement, and the recording, um, I will also send out kind of like what the pitch is of what this program is
Can you go back
to
to the slide with the
everybody.
curriculum? Oh, my bad. Couldn't write fast enough.
I can, yeah.
You will be tested on this information at the November session. So
I know that's what I'm nervous
Yes,
about.
Carrie will get an A plus, so
Uh-oh.
we know this to be true.
it's interesting too. I think the entire committee is all Build graduates as well. So that says a lot.
Hi, everyone. This is Joe. Could I just chime in on something?
Of course.
Sure.
Perfect. If there's a way, since it seems like we have more mentors than mentees, just on that broad email, if it's going to go out again, maybe put in, since we know who's already signed up in some ways, the different functions of the industry or of a business. For example, if we have folks, because I don't know if anyone on the line right now is going to cover kind of construction side of things. We obviously have sales, but maybe that would resonate with people because I understood it when I saw it, but maybe someone would look at it broadly and say, well, I don't know if this jives with me, but if they are currently in their own role or they want to expand, at least they can see that there's others who are already signed up to be mentors, not necessarily by name, but by category. So just some feedback.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, and I think, Joe, to piggyback on that, and Shelby, maybe you can pop in. We actually talked about, for the mentors, writing like a brief description of themselves and then giving that to the mentees before, so then everyone kind of had a general basis of like, here's your name, what company you work for, here's what role you have in your company, what you think that you can bring to them and help them grow. So I think that's a great idea, and I think we should definitely hammer that on to the mentees so that way they know who's going to be there as well.
Yeah, I think, once we get that agreement letter out, we'll get it out, later today or no later than tomorrow. Once people start signing that and actually start like committing, that's when we can start, promoting this to the next level as well. Yeah.
I'm just referring to what Tim was talking about earlier. If somebody wants to come in midpoint in the calendar year, that's where if we have, mentors that were not assigned earlier, we have backup mentors as well, potentially. So, and there might be mentors that are willing to take on two mentees as well. So if we get interest, if not now, but later, because people hear about the program and things like that, we might be able to do some backfilling.
think so too.
Yep.
Any other questions?
Hi, I just have a question about the networking, like meet and greet for everyone. Is that going to be kind of like a formal timed thing? Should we have questions kind of prepared? Or you said you're going to maybe send out like a little bio of each of the mentors beforehand.
Are you talking about the November event?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we could definitely have another call when it gets closer with just like the mentors to kind of, but yeah, I feel like I've been to one of these events prior, and all the mentors kind of had a list just like of talking points just in case. But it's going to be very short, like maybe 5 minutes with each mentee. So it's going to be very fast, and not a lot can be talked about in 5 minutes. But if you definitely want to have some talking points, that would help.
Okay. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
I have a quick question. So I am a lone business owner and have been for a very, very long time. And I want to know if my expertise in business and in various capacities will fit into your mentorship.
Yes.
Yes.
You're an entrepreneur or a bit small business owner. That's absolutely representation that we want in here. I'm assuming that there will be mentees that would be more than interested in that. Yes.
I wear a lot of hats.
Yep.
And that was one of the things when we were doing the outreach for mentors, we said at least 10 years of professional experience, not necessarily building or construction experience. We're looking for 10 years of professional experience. And so that's where you fall in, Maria.
And Maria, we do have Bridge members that do own their own businesses, so they can correlate well.
Don't you have to be a certain age group to be in Bridge?
Under 35, but they're
That's
business
me.
owners.
That's me, Cameron. You know that.
We're talking actual chronological and not spirit. Not spirit. Okay. Are there any more questions or?
Very informative, very clear, Shelby. I've not met you, but you do a great job of facilitating. Thank you.
Yes.
She's a leader for sure.
But I think
All
it's going to be wonderful.
Are there any mentees that have questions? Because we're getting ready to sign you out. So we have a mentor only session. Any other questions? Okay. You want to continue on with the mentor only session now, Shelby, then?
Yeah.
Okay. Any mentees, go ahead and sign out. And I will double check them all for you.
All right. I just figured the mentors would probably have more questions than the mentees, and so just wanted to open up the floor more specifically. I don't know if you guys have been a part of a mentorship program before, but yeah, so this is really just more questions if you have it. I feel like we listed off the expectations pretty well, but I don't know, team, if there's other ones that we need to talk about.
I think I could chime in. Obviously, mentors, we really want to lean on you guys and your expertise, because if you've been in a mentorship program before, if this is your first one, we are trying to tailor this so that way it's beneficial not only for the mentees, but for you guys as well. So if you guys, just kind of like earlier, like Joe, if you guys see stuff that you really think would help support this, like, we are all open ears. We are very open to making this fun and exciting and also informative and to help people grow throughout this whole program. So feel free to reach out to any of the four of us, or Angela. I said would be including five. Like, we are all open ears. We are down to do like one-on-ones if you think like something would really help out this program. We really want to make this thing amazing for everybody involved.
So how would you describe, or who are the mentees? Where are they coming from?
I would say a lot of them are coming from engineer firms. I would say that's a lot right now, but it is a very diverse group, all the way from sales, title, construction management. I mean, we have quite a few different areas, but I would say a lot from engineers.
Interesting.
It's a broad spectrum. I think once we get everyone signed up, we'll categorize people into what kind of their disciplines are, and I think that'll help us with matching and everything.
And I think also why there is a large showing from engineering companies is because there's 2 or 3 engineering companies that's fully supporting this program. And so their employees are participating both on the mentee side and the mentor side, but also I see many of like 3 to 6 mentees from one company.
Yeah.
I'd also like to add that like I'm going to be a mentee in this program and I'm not necessarily looking for an erosion mentor. I like to learn. I'm open to a wide variety, whether that's leadership, personal growth in the career, or even learning more about like development and planning with civil. So not necessarily tied to your position with your mentor.
Everybody's going to have a different view too, whether it be a mentor and or a mentee. And I know that you guys are trying to put people together that fit better. But is there an opportunity for the mentees to do their time with their particular mentor that they have now and then move on to another mentor that's going to have different strengths and different weaknesses? I don't know how that fits in.
I definitely like we're going to be checking in with mentors and the mentees throughout the year. And so if like any reason things aren't meshing well or you think that it would be beneficial to the both of you if you guys, move on, definitely. But that's what really those quarterly events are going to be for is to mingle outside of your one-on-one sessions and really so then, say someone comes to you and starts talking about business operations, but it wasn't your mentee. I mean, they could definitely reach out to you for a one-on-one, and then that's just kind of how this program, you put into it what you get out of it. So
Right, but okay, so where I was going with that was say that I have a strength and I'm sharing that strength with my mentee, but Angela has a different strength that might benefit that same mentee. Um, is there opportunity for them to, I guess you'd call it speed date or whatever the case may be, so that they are not just, okay, so they're going to get my experience and my education, and now they need something else to go further.
So I can pop in on this as I've had experience with this in regards to a current mentorship program that I'm not a part of, but a colleague, an industry colleague of mine is a mentor to 3 mentees, and he introduced me to them because he thought that I can help provide some value. And so I think that it's that we have that opportunity to be able to say, hey, I want to spend some time with this other person. I think it's part of this relationship, this one-on-one relationship with the mentor and the mentee is to be open about the possibilities of one, what Shelby was talking about. Maybe y'all don't mesh, or maybe the interests are in a different direction than what you feel you can provide. It's about open communication as well. We're in, there's opportunities for you to introduce them to others in your circle or business network, that I don't think it's restricted to like only you can be with you all through the year and you're handcuffed together. I think there's opportunities to expand their network and the exposure, whether it's with a current mentor or someone within, your business network.
Hey, Angela, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, just opportunity for them to learn more with not just learning from me. Maybe they want to learn from somebody else, or maybe somebody else has more of what they need after they've exhausted all of my information.
Yeah, and the answer is yes.
And Maria, I'll be tracking everyone's meeting. So as I go into past chair, I'm going to be the admin on this program. So I'm going to be making sure everyone meets. We have an Excel already set up. And when I'll kind of like check in with both parties just to see how conversation's flowing. So if it's kind of lulling out, there'll be opportunity for us to like maybe rematch or move around. So we'll be checking in with you and
There we go.
ensuring that
Sure.
both sides are being proactive about meeting.
Yeah,
It's
and
got a
on that
benefit.
note, one way you can, if we are going to have additional mentors over mentees, let's say there's 10 extras, you could structure it in a way that those 10 are kind of roving around or have the opportunity that others can meet.
Mhm.
And so they're not being doubled up. One person gets two. They're actually a pool of various mentors that can meet with, on one occasionally with some of the other ones that are assigned to an individual. Then they can get more cross representation of different fields.
Different
One way to
strengths,
take
yeah.
if we have more mentors and mentees.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be a restricted relationship.
Yeah, I gotta say, I love the idea of having more mentors than mentees, just for the backups and for, especially with the monthly commitment. If life happens, right? And if something were to happen for, let's say, one mentor and they needed somebody to step in, having that pool of mentors to lean back on and ask to step in for their mentee that month, that's awesome.
Yeah, and there's, I think keeping it open and fluid is a good idea because then maybe there's opportunities where a mentor, you know, invites another mentor, one of the backup mentors to come be a part of a meeting or something like that because whatever they're going to talk about is really relevant to, our specialty. Or if there, maybe there's a field trip involved or something like that. It could be anything.
Angela, did you see Jennifer's message in the chat?
Is this open to foundation graduates? I think that is something that Matthew has brought up as well. And I think that there is that potential. I think they would have to go through some kind of vetting process, which I think Matthew would want to do anyway. But I don't think that's a hard no, and I don't think that's a hard yes at this point. We can talk about it. We can definitely see what who he is recommending of his graduates to be a part of this.
It would definitely take a certain type because not everybody from that graduating class, having just done a mentorship through that, through the foundation, not everybody would be ready for this
Right. That's
type
what
of
I'm
thing.
saying is that he would have to vet and recommend.
Yes.
I only see the potential for maybe it just depends, and maybe there's a particular match that would make it happen.
Maybe someone who has employment or newly employed or something to that effect.
We'll figure it out. That's the answer. Thanks for asking though, Jennifer.
Awesome.
Just for an anecdote, I'm excited to be mentoring in a program with people that are already in the industry. I love the idea of extending it eventually to BCF grads, depending on a certain selection process. I've only I would say most of my mentoring experience has come in the form of foster youth and those who are not in the industry, and it is an incredibly more difficult venture. So it's worth it in every way, but it takes a lot of effort on both people's parts. So I'm really excited to see what can come about from two people that are motivated.
Any other thoughts or questions?
They say it's time, treasures, and talents, and they all need to be shared.
Yes.
So I think next steps, like I said, we'll get that agreement letter out just so people can start committing. And then once we get our final list, we'll probably have one more meeting with everyone or just like the mentors before the November kickoff event. So yes, just thanks again, everyone. Like, this program would not be what it's going to be without you guys. So I'm super excited. It's going to be great.
Thank you guys for all your hard work.
Yeah,
Good
thank you
job,
so much.
Bridge.
Thanks,
Thanks,
all.
guys.
Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.